What's good, my people? I'm sure all of you have already seen the system overview trailer that dropped today, and I wanted to briefly go over my thoughts about the last part of that trailer, which doesn't even really have anything to do with the rest of the trailer, and that being that Bleach 1000 Year Blood War joined as playable characters for the Season Pass, confirming that the Season Pass will just be Bleach 1000 Year Blood War characters, which is a little bit disappointing for me. I have gone on record saying that I wanted the Season Pass to be Lost Agent, just so that way Lost Agent is still represented in the game some sort of way. Because with the way things are now, it basically seems like Lost Agent arc is the only arc with no representation in the game, right? We had 1000 Year Blood War thanks to the outfits, and we obviously are starting from Shinigami all the way up to the end of the 𝐒𝐟𝐼𝐬𝐼𝐼 invasion, which also goes over Turn Back the Pendulum. So like every major arc is in this game in some sort of way, except Lost Agent. And that's really grinding my gears because, like I've said many a time, Lost Agent arc is my favorite arc of Bleach. I humbly believe that is Kubo's writing at its best in the Lost Agent arc, okay? People will slander Lost Agent just because it doesn't have back-to-back action. It doesn't have a bunch of blood-pumping fights, but like just narratively speaking, Lost Agent is peak. I don't care what anyone says. It's peak. I love Lost Agent arc. Anyway, back to the main point. It's basically the only arc that isn't in this game. Like, if I don't see 𝐤𝐬𝐽 and Tsukushima, because that's really the only two characters you need. It would be nice to have the others, but you really only need those two. I don't see 𝐤𝐬𝐽 and Tsukushima being in the base game. And if the Season Pass is just going to be 1000 Year Blood War, then yeah, there's just no Lost Agent in this game whatsoever. That bugs me. But that aside, I don't want this video to just be me ranting about that all day. I actually want to go over what characters I think would be the Season Pass characters. Season Pass 1 is only 4 characters, and you know, there is always that possibility we'll get more Season Passes. It's not guaranteed, but at the very least, let's just go based on the fact that we're getting 4, right? So let's say, what would the definitive 4 would be? If they don't do anything else with this game after these 4 DLC characters drop, who would that 4 be, right? And instead of doing a roster predictions, because I genuinely cannot narrow this down, I want to just say my wish list instead. So if we look at this tier list, there are a lot of characters that I think would make sense to be the DLC character. Again, if we're not getting Lost Agent, I still see us having full-bring Bankai Ichigo in the game since, you know, he did arrive at the Soul Society, he did fight Yhwach. And another thing, I think the characters are going to be picked based on the anime, so not the manga. I don't see us getting like true Shikai or true Bankai Ichigo, or aka Horn of Salvation Ichigo. I don't see that happening. I don't think we're getting any late game manga content in this game. We're just going to go based on the anime, and even then, since it's only going to be 4 characters, there's a lot from the 1000 Year Blood War anime that's just going to be I guess, not necessarily overlooked, but it's just not going to be chosen for the game, right? If we're only getting 4 characters, they can't pick every character that fought in 1000 Year Blood War, even if just in the first core. So I really can't narrow this down. I have no clue what 4 they would pick, so I'm not even going to bother with the predictions, but I will say that my preferred picks would be just about any of the Bambis, and then Yoruichi's little brother. Like, if I had to put them in order of preference, 𝐤𝐬𝐽 would be my top 1 pick. I love 𝐤𝐬𝐽. I don't care what none of y'all say, okay? 𝐤𝐬𝐽, that's my girl. She's top 1. 𝐤𝐬𝐽, Candice, Yushido, then Lil Toto in that order. If I got to pick the 4 DLC characters, it would be those 4, right? It sucks that we wouldn't get all the Bambis, like, because that would at least exclude Bambietta and Menina. But you know what? That would be fine with me. I can live with that. That's not my prediction. That's just my wish list. That would be the characters I want, right? Whether it makes sense or not, that would be the characters I want. Now, for the tier above, the reason I say candidates is I think these characters would fit based on popularity, relevance in the anime, and just multiple other factors. Like, I think Unohana being a 1000 Year Blood War DLC character would make sense because they don't really have a moveset to draw from when it comes to Soul Society, or Soul Society up to 𝐒𝐟𝐼𝐽𝐼 invasion. They don't really have a moveset to draw from. She didn't fight, but she did fight in 1000 Year Blood War. So if they use that moveset for her, it would make sense for her to be one of the 1000 Year Blood War characters. Bazz obviously would make a lot of sense. As not a I could see him being in the game just because he fought Byakuya, and Byakuya 1000-Year Blood War is in the game, just as an outfit. Kangdu, I could see it being him just because he fought Rangiku and Toshido. Well, I mean, sorta, not really, but, you know, he was their opponent. You know, actually it was Bazby before he stepped in and then just lost. But he's another one I could see just because, again, 1000-Year Blood War, Rangiku, and Toshido are in the game, thanks to their outfits. Askin, I could see him being him because 1000-Year Blood War Yoruichi's in the game. Hashwalt, Yuhaba, they go without saying. Senjumaru, Ichibei, I could see him being them because obvious reasons. And 𝐞𝐥𝐬, I can see it being because he was like the first official big bad Quincy of 1000-Year Blood War. So again, there's just so many characters that make sense. I can't really narrow it down to 4. And there's also the very real possibility we'll get multiple seasons with even more 1000-Year Blood War characters later down the line. But at the end of the day, this trailer was dope. I don't really have any complaints about anything we've seen. If I had to pick some standout things that really got me hyped, it's the mission mode that has multiple levels and the secret story that they showed off. Like everything else we've basically got the gist of, but the new information regarding the secret story, well, technically not new information, but just a further explanation on the secret story and the various mission modes we'll have in the game, yeah, that's hype. So I don't want my initial rant to seem like I feel any differently towards this game. This is still the most hype I've ever been for a game. Will it break my heart if there's no Lost Agent in this? For sure. But is this still going to be like my game of the year? Like, absolutely. I don't, like, it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, but it doesn't matter enough that I just 180'd my opinion on this game as a whole. At the end of the day, Rebirth of Souls is still looking like peak, and I can't wait for it. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. So let me know in the comments what you guys think is going to happen. What 4 characters would you want to see, and what 4 characters do you think are most likely to be the DLC characters? I'd love to hear your thoughts on the subject, and yeah, I'll catch you guys whenever.